Hello, I'm ปฐมพร ตามดิษ
and วงประกอบสุวรรณเจริญ and welcome our audience to today's seminar.
So far, we would like to talk about trade openness and economic growth with supply and demand side that affect the growth.
In the first part, I will talk about introduction. The relationship between trade openness and economic growth has an effect to each other, and if economy move from autarky to free trade, then we see that economic will grow more. The basic theorem is trade better than no trade. So, export and import is very important for economic growth. Next part, may I invite Panaya to talk about literature review.
Hello, I am Panaya Yasothon. In the part of the literature review that trade liberalization has impact three sides on economic growth are positive impact, negative impact, and ambiguous impact. And I pick some example of each impact to show you. First, trade liberalization has a positive impact on economic growth. Trade liberalization is very important for the growth of the economy. Trade openness and external debt are very important variables to measure economic growth. Developing countries can avoid the benefits of external debt only the appropriate policy. Informal point out by Safa, Ula, Sabi, Iyas, and Kursa in 2015. Next, Ebal and Bakali in 2015 conclude that trade liberalization has a positive impact and momentous effect on the GDP of Pakistan in the long run. Next, Awali, Udis, Nawaz, Tabas, and Tulong in 2013 conclude and policy implication that the feedback effect between trade openness and economic growth also support the adopt supplementary trade liberalization policy to lift optimal foot of trade openness and sustain in the long run economic growth. Sabas in 2012 result confirmed in the long run trade openness promote economic growth. And next, Tubas, Badan, and Lemur in 2011 to debate on among the economists between openness growth and income distribution is still open. The result most often suggest that in the long run, confirm that the country have importing higher and also economic growth higher. Aloko and Solis in 2011 studied the Brazilian growth experience after trade liberalization by testing both the export-led growth (ELG) and growth-led export (GLE). Further evidence that after openness both ELG and GLE are useful to explain the Brazilian growth experience. And next, Billmeyer and Nancinini on 2010 show the trade liberalization tend to have a positive effect on the pattern of real GDP per capita. The second, trade liberalization has a negative impact on economic growth. Focusing on liberalization and economic growth, Yamis and Jehan in 2006, unless the trade stimulate economic growth and bring socio-economic gap existing in different countries in the world. This may be attributed in the poor performance of medicine factor in Pakistan. It may be argued that trade liberalization has no effect development favorably in Pakistan. And the last, trade liberalization has ambiguous effect of economic growth. Adanhe and Lu in 2014 study examine the short-term and long-term impact on economic liberalization on economic growth in case of Pakistan. The results show, firstly, the economic liberalization reform has a positive impact on economic growth in the short term. In the long term, secondly, the estimate coefficient to rolling windows show the impact of economic liberalization of real GDP and stable during selling periods of simple. This study recommends of policy made to enhance human capital by having more experience on education sector. Chitwa, Chitney and Johnson in 2013 show the relationship between trade liberalization and economic growth in Sri Lanka. They conclude that investments and free trade agreements are significant and positive related to the economic growth and show both focus are visible in sustaining economic growth in Sri Lanka. In the long term, trade liberalization and trade openness are not significant factors on economic growth. The third part, I would invite Apishaya and Rumsakon to talk about data and methodology.
Thank you, Panaya. Hello, I am Apishaya Changpan. The first, I will mention about methodology. The main purpose of the study is to examine the relationship and economic growth in the world of trade openness by factors that have two sides between demand side and supply side. Using linear LLS line irrigation was used in the estimating the data collected. This research will present a new model of analysis to openness growth relationship between demand side and supply side is based on a new group of indicators, and the equation was run as follows, whereas I is country and T is a period time.
Model 1. We choose the important variable with the time is 1990 to 2014. It still has some data missing more than Model 2. Double log equation. Next, Model 2. We build the new model by including the main model 1 and each variable in each model to see the real effect of each variable. Model 2.1 Double log equation with CPIA building human resource rating 2005 to 2014. Model 2.2 Double log equation with current education expenditure and tertiary 2005 and 2014. Model 2.3 Double log equation with labor force with tertiary education 2005 to 2014. Model 2.4 Double log equation with logistic performance index, quality of trade and transportation related infrastructure 2005 to 2014. The last, Model 2.5 Double log equation with new business register 2005 to 2014. There are the cross-section data and time series data. Then we take the autocorrelation problem into model.
The data is each variable which we choose the World Bank cannot collect all the data in every period of time. Then we create the new way to find out the effect of trade openness and other factors in demand side and supply side to economic growth by use two models with different conditions. Then we take logarithm both sides of equation to use the running OLS.
Thank you, Apishaya. I would like to present you about meaning of each variable. Y means gross domestic product or GDP. C means consumption. The expected side is positive. I investment. The side we expected is positive. We using T indicators to investment risk combined between foreign direct investment, net inflow, net outflow, portfolio investment, and bonds. Next variable is G. G means government spending. The side is positive. Trade underscore trans means trade openness index or export plus import divided by GDP. The side we expected is positive. CPIA means CPIA building human resource rating. If the result is 1 mean low, 2 6 mean high, the side is positive. EDU underscore EXP means current education expenditure and tertiary, the side is positive. LFT labor force with tertiary education, the side we expected is positive. LEB means life expectancy at birth. The sign is positive. LPI means Logistic Performance Index, quality of trade and transport. Relate infrastructure, we expect the sign will be positive. NBR means new business register. The sign is positive. And the last variable is tag_IT, means tag on international trade. The expected sign is negative. All of data come from the World Bank and World Development Indicator or WDI.
From this model 1, it is the model that are more complete in terms of function of OLS because we run in the long term form and it is general and formal form for international research. For interpretation of each variable are consumption increase 1%, the gross domestic product will be increased 0.80% on average by holding other factor constant. Investment increase 1%, the gross domestic product will be decreased 0.0068% on average by holding other factor constant. The government expenditure increased 1%, the gross domestic product will be increased 0.18% on average by holding other factor constant. Trade Openness Index increased 1%, the gross domestic product will be decreased 0.0035% on average by holding other factor constant. Life expectancy at birth rate increased 1%, the gross domestic product will be increased 0.164% on average by holding other factor constant. Tax on international trade increased 1%, the gross domestic product will be increased 0.0080% on average by holding the other factor constant. R square is 0.993. It means that the trade openness index and other control variables are explain the growth about 99.31% extremely. Note, there are the size of three variables which are investment, trade index, and tax on international trade do not follow the theory of international trade and growth, and the level of significance are non-level 5 and 1% of significance respectively.
This model tests about the effect of size of CPIA building human capital resources rating, which is not significant and not follow the theory of human capital, should increase the growth by the same direction. And the R square is very large, so that means CPIA building human capital resources rating can explain growth 98.87%. The result of this equation show that the size of current education expenditure tertiary in public institution is not follow the theory and not significant in this regression. R square is 0.995. That means the current education expenditure tertiary in public institution can explain the growth about 99.5%. The result of this model 2.3 is the size of labor force with the tertiary education is still not following the theory and is not significant. R square is 0.990. That means the labor force with tertiary education can explain the growth 99%. The result of this model is the effect of the logistic performance index to economic growth, and we found that the sign of this variable follow the economic theory. That is, if our country has more performance in the logistics sector, it will be easier to trade and It is significant at 10% level of significance. R square is 0.9921. That means the logistic performance index can explain the growth with 99.21%. For the last model 2.5, we test the new business register that have effect to economic growth or not, and we found the sign of this variable follow the assumption that more new business lead to the more economic activity in country. But it is not significant at all level of significance. R square is 0.9937. That means the new business register can explain the growth about 99.37%. Now we test about the autocorrelation problem because the model are time series. So the next part will be the test of autocorrelation problem in each model. And we can see that Model 1, Model 2.1, Model 2.2, Model 2.3, Model 2.4, and Model 2.5, they are still have autocorrelation problem. For our research, we find some evidence of trade openness and economic growth. The sign not follow the theory of trade and not significant at all level of significance. Then we can guess the cost of which we test of the world data and data are not complete, lead to the result is not follow the theory. Some variable in the main model which are investment in the demand side, transaction in the demand side, and the tax on international trade. But the other models that we want to see effect to the growth, there are two variables which follow the theory are logistic performance index and the new business register. The sign are positive relationship with the growth. For the further research, we should separate countries in the world into three categories because in the real world, the less developing and the developed countries have external and internal factors are differences. And these factors lead to define supply and demand of each country. After research, we can find the data of some variables and compete in the result research to see the real effect of those variables. However, the research cannot show all effect of variables directly way because of the data problem, but the variable which is strong data, we can see the some sign is follow the theory of trade.